Welcome back to the NSP podcast. I'm your host, Craig Mack. We got Diddy. We got Lil Kim. We got Biggie.
Baby.
And then we got Mace.
Won't stop.
And we are
bad boys. Topic of discussion today we have, ladies and gentlemen, is emotion versus logic. Now, it's gonna be very sticky today. Very sticky, icky. Now, let's talk about the difference.
I was gonna say, define what emotion versus logic is.
Let's get the people a little introduction.
Now.
Don't pass it off to me first.
Now, this is what I'm gonna do, right? Day.
Yes.
Can you define emotion for us? No shots fired.
No shots.
Okay, so I'm not the dictionary. I'm just gonna, because don't quote me. But basically, here's what I would say the difference is. Emotion is when you think or act or make decisions based off of something you feel in your heart. This is when people say like, oh, you in your feelings, right? Logic is when you are doing something, make a decision, thinking, speaking from a place of using your brain. What actually makes sense, what's actually true or false, what's fact, not fiction, what is real, not how do I feel, it's what do I think. So are you coming from your brain or your heart? That's the conversation of today's topic.
Okay. You ain't say no bullshit. That was good. That was a good one.
Stop down, sugar. I could definitely teach you things too.
Ooh, she said sugar. She really Lil Kim.
What? What is
Go
it?
ahead, D. Talk to me, baby.
I got a substitution for the song of the day.
It's okay.
nigga funny.
It's okay. You just have it in your mind.
It just when something I don't know who said what, but somebody just said something. This little mix of conversation just happened.
Talking that bullshit.
Something just popped in my head and clicked. I know exactly perfect fucking song. Y'all go ahead at the end of this episode.
That's what we're gonna get.
So we're gonna start with some topics so everybody got to define.
We got. No, we don't have to define it. Are you more emotional or logic?
Oh,
You.
Look, I would say this, bro. I'm definitely on the logic side. Now it's times where I emotionally respond to shit. Especially for somebody getting on my fucking nerves. They, women in my life. Certain shit, I don't like. They know I don't like.
Nigga.
I'm just saying. He get on my nerves too.
Why you ain't say his name then?
D get on my motherfucking nerves. I say his name too, goddamn. But no, I think I'm on the logical side versus the emotional side. I just think when you react to shit emotionally in the beginning from the jump, it don't come out positive. Majority of the time it's coming out negative.
Making it worse.
And you're making the shit worse, agreed. And now you're digging a hole that you can't come out of certain aspects, relationship wise, friendship wise, whatever. You digging a hole, and y'all gonna get in a deeper hole when you just putting your emotions all the time first. Now it's cool to put them first sometimes.
Certain situations.
Everything's circumstantial. But little arguments, little bullshit arguments. Let's think logically first. You feel me? And I go through some arguments, and I say to myself, "Why the fuck are we arguing? Are we really arguing for a real reason? You feel me? Like, is it something that I can't just think of to simply just dead this shit? Yeah. Because we arguing for we waste energy. My heart don't beat for positivity. I mean negativity. It beat for positivity. You feel me? So that's why I say I'm more on the logic side. Anybody else?
Are we done?
What the logic side?
Y'all agree?
Y'all agree?
Have some smoke.
We gonna have some smoke.
Who the fuck wanted that? I'm on niggas' asses. this
I was
episode.
about to respond, but I'm gonna let it
Go
go.
ahead.
No, they say what you gotta say, cuz.
Speak your mind, shorty.
Break the
Speak your
smoke.
mind.
Smoke.
No,
I got
all
my
was
vest
gonna
though.
Say is, I think it's just interesting, Chauncey, that you say when you get into arguments, you sometimes sit back and you think to yourself like, "Why are we doing this?" Because me and you do this all the time. When the hell do you stop and ask yourself,
Pause.
"Why are we doing this?"
We doing this for fun. We doing this for y'all.
You know,
Personally.
but this happens off camera too. Don't lie to the
Oh, no. It's times where you got on my motherfucking nerves, and I definitely thought prior to that, yo, what the fuck am I gonna say? And then sometimes like, it be like, you just need my reaction because you don't expect that to happen.
I need it.
Need that
Yes,
reaction?
because sometimes I'm gonna tell you the
Now
truth.
it's giving he trying to teach me like a lesson or some
I
shit.
did. I had to.
Okay.
Prior to this, we gonna bring that scenario up. I ain't gonna bring that scenario up.
Okay, I was about to say because don't.
We ain't gonna bring that up.
Past it,
She got the
We ain't gonna bring that up.
She got the hand on the hip.
We ain't gonna bring that up. We ain't gonna bring that up. We ain't gonna bring that up. But certain people test your limits, and when you give them that initial response, they know, all right, I can't do that certain shit no more with him. Because at the end of the day,
It's
stop
very
testing my
much
motherfucking
given, like
limits.
He think he teaching me lessons.
I'm just saying.
Let's go on to somebody else. D, what about you? Are you more emotional or you more logical?
Damn, all eyes on me.
I weak.
Tupac Shakur.
I can't wait for
No,
this
I
shit.
feel like it's different for me just because I have issues with this whole Gemini shit. So a lot of the times it comes off as
D, do you have two different personalities?
I can sometimes.
3.
You
Fuck
know,
2.
That's the 3 and 3D.
Yeah, 3.
3 different people.
But it's like, so I have a switch. It's like it's hard to differentiate when I'm
motherfucker
completely
crazy.
mad. So like as soon as the situation happens, it's like I might react off emotion just because it's like it's hard to differentiate at that point in time. But it'll take a minute for me to be like, damn, like he says, like, damn, like bro, like what is this worth it? Like, what are you really doing here? And I'll go back to like, okay, let me think logically here and pay attention to what actually is going on. Sometimes, or a lot of the times, it's like, okay, because now I'm starting to learn myself more. It's like, don't react how you initially think you should react. Sit back and think about it for a second before you react, because if you react off your first thought, it could go left because of how
If your first thought is emotional.
Exactly. So
what he's
you
saying.
just kind of, I've learned for myself with this whole emotional versus logic shit and how I handle it is to not react initially. Don't, I can't, based off of myself and how I know I am, I can't react off of the first.
I'm laughing at that. That was a laugh.
Oh, that was a laugh? Oh.
I can't react off the first thought. I have to sit back and think. So if somebody says something and I just sit back for 2-3 minutes and don't say nothing, is because I can't. That first thought was going to be emotional and left. So I gotta sit back and think.
Hey y'all, Trelly in the cut. He the nigga in the waiting for somebody to pop off. He that nigga right now. He ready to clock somebody's shit.
All right, Biggie, what about you? You more emotional or you more logical?
I'm logical. I'm logical. Reason I would say I'm logical, because I'm at a point in my life where my body's a temple, and there's certain energy and certain shit I can't let get in this temple no more.
I respect that.
You feel what I'm saying? And like I'm at a point I don't want to do no talking. Like if it gotta go there, I'm done with the talking.
Sure enough.
You feel what I'm saying? But I don't want to go there because we living for so much bigger purpose and a greater purpose, and I think so far down the line of just one little thing emotionally that can just fuck up my whole situation.
Fuck up your whole future. I feel that.
So it's like I think
I feel that.
that's why.
Romantic. I'm
Yeah.
I feel that.
So I don't go into environments where I know it can even go that way, or I don't put myself in positions where I can know it go that way, because I don't want no smoke, but I ain't ducking it either.
Yes, sir.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
sir.
I can definitely feel that.
Yeah,
Because in certain situations, like I start to think, like, do I need to be in this situation? Or I be looking at certain other people in situations. I be like, yo, why are you around this group of people in this type of situation? Like, what could happen versus like what they think they're getting out of the situation. And I think that's more so the logical side, and you start to think different after that while that part.
I saw this, whatchamacallit, based off of what you just said, Nick. I saw this interview that Kevin Gates had with the Breakfast Club years ago, where he was like, somebody said to him, he was like, if you gotta be somewhere where you feel like you need a gun, you don't need to be there. He was like, what makes you feel like?
Right.
He was like, why do you need to die or go to jail for somebody to think you're real?
Right.
Like, it's just, if you feel like you need to be in that position, if you feel like you need to protect yourself in that way, in that position, just stay the fuck home.
Right. Yeah. And I got a good example with that. I got an associate that works with me, and they got this like hood ass dream. Like they want an AR, a fucking shotgun, a sniper, a Glock, because they don't know what's gonna happen. I'm like, you need all of that because you don't know what's gonna happen. You just need a pistol. Get a pistol and start out with that. You don't need all of that artillery.
I want all the pistols.
Right, all the smoke.
Weaponry.
And that's why a lot of people get guns because they seen their environment that they probably grew up in, and they be like, you know what? I don't know what might pop off, but I know this person told me a story.
I agree with that.
Like,
I agree with that.
Protect yourself.
I definitely agree with that.
Like,
protect yourself sometimes.
Like, now you don't need that.
Now you just a gun collector at that point. Ain't shit happen. Just call yourself a gun collector, nigga. Don't.
And at that point, you listen. Don't nobody want no smoke with you. You turning them to Swiss cheese at the front door. No problem.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah,
so I'm pushing for peace and positivity.
But what do you think the benefits and disadvantages? Oh, go ahead.
Nick,
Apologies.
Which
go ahead.
one are you?
What am I? I'm more logical than emotional. I would say I'm more emotional. I say when I'm creative. When I'm creating something, I feel like I have to feel it.
That's an artist ass answer.
I'm about to say that was a very
artistic answer.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure D and y'all can.
With music,
you know what I'm saying?
like
with
that.
Music, it's like you gotta get into your mode a little bit rather than logically.
Some of my best shit I wrote was off of some shit that just happened to me,
right.
and that's
you
mean
right?
Great material,
right?
See, but that's knowing logic. That's being logical too, because in the mindset, you know that you can express yourself in a different way instead of doing it off of the rip, like off of that first experience. Like, take that shit, bottle it up, and put it into your art.
Right.
I mean, that's sad, but some men do that. We do that a lot, actually. You feel me? So I agree with what you're saying.
Exactly.
Emotionally express yourself through what you think is positive, and that's music, art, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, of course. And then, like, piggybacking off the logical side, it's like I gotta think logically when it's like set up like this. It's like it's not a emotional thing. It's like, boom, these mics gotta go here, this table gotta go here, this gotta be set up, blah blah blah. So it's like, and I think when it comes to work, also you think kind of logically. It's like, piggybacking for you, like, I don't know your experiences all the way, but it's like, you know, logically, all right, boom, I got to get the kids together. I got to have the lesson plan together. I got to grade the papers. I got to do that. All that's the logical part, but it's like developing them in your different style is probably the emotional part. It's like, this is what I love to do, so I got to think of creative ways to teach certain students. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, Lord.
So what do you say the benefits and disadvantages are of emotions and logic?
The benefits and disadvantages.
Yeah, if you got it.
Shit, keep you out of trouble. The benefit. I mean,
thinking logically.
You're thinking logically.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think sometimes, I think for men, especially we lack emotionally a lot. So that's a disadvantage going into a relationship. Meaning, we don't know how to express ourselves on a certain standpoint where the other person is not Miss Cleo or can't read your brain all the time. So you got to be able to, you know, I mean, it takes time, but learn when to express yourself and when not to. And also how you do it, because I'm taking what she's telling us. It's about your delivery.
Always about your delivery.
And not about, you know what I mean, what you just said. Sometimes majority of it is just how you know, how you come off and your delivery to it.
You definitely got to deliver properly.
Okay. He learned your lesson. See, you taught him a lesson. Why I can't teach you a lesson?
No, your delivery definitely gotta be on
It's
point.
not often that you got something that you need to teach me.
God damn. Women.
That's it.
All I'm gonna say, women.
That's cool. But yeah, no, I would definitely say like the benefits to being logical for sure are there more so than they can be usually for being emotional. But like, and I didn't even get a chance to say for myself, I personally think I'm both. If I had to give 51%, I am more emotional. And that may have a lot to do with the fact that I'm a woman. But I do think in most situations, like, I know how to go back and forth. That's why we always say everything is circumstantial. In certain circumstances, it may call for one thing. Certain circumstances may call for another. Is there something that y'all want to share with the motherfucking players?
I was just laughing at.
What is he doing? Like, what's going on, Biggie?
I'm snitching. I'm laughing. I don't want no smoke, Daddy.
No, you just said.
That's how, choking on bullshit. Ain't that good?
No. You just said that 51% you more emotional. I just wanted to add +4. 5 and 6. You know, and then mouth of yours can get carried away, but that's about it. That's all I had to say.
Can get carried either way.
Right.
I can, go off emotionally, or I can go off logically. We had an episode a few weeks back where I was speaking from nothing but a place of logic, and the rest of y'all, with the exception,
I don't agree with that.
of Nick, was speaking, I would say, from an emotional standpoint. Case in point, no, not the entire episode, but good God, when I mentioned Kobe, y'all got emotional as fuck.
Hey, you see what happened, right? Because that was some bullshit.
Y'all got emotional as fuck.
You see the fans' reaction. The fans' reaction
Y'all
was
got
like,
emotional.
look,
But to be clear,
watch it, nigga.
the episode aired. They'll feel me when they see the whole thing. You going off of like a 30-second clip and y'all act like y'all want to shoot me. Like, stop being emotional. Get out your feelings. Ain't that what y'all love to tell women? Is that not what you love to say to women?
It's a figure of speech. Y'all never gonna do it. It's a figure of speech.
It ain't never gonna happen. It ain't never gonna happen.
That's a
Shit
fact.
never gonna happen.
You right.
Neither we y'all when it comes to Kobe.
No, that's
Moving on.
That's the beam.
Moving on.
I ain't gonna start this shit. We ain't gonna start this shit.
What's the next subtopic?
We ain't finished the other subtopic.
D, you more emotional or logical?
I answered that.
Everybody
did?
answered that.
But what's the disadvantages and benefit disadvantage?
Shit, emotion, a benefit to being emotion.
Yeah, what is a benefit?
A benefit to
'Cause seem like we
acting
always-
off emotional.
Yeah.
Is motherfuckers know not to fuck with you.
Hey, you feel me? That's exactly what I said earlier. Niggas know not to test them motherfucking limits no
They
more.
know not to, exactly, because if you go off emotion, of course it's not.
I'm gonna leave it
good to
alone.
Go off emotion,
Already
but at
know.
the same time,
Because niggas.
I'm just saying, but no, it's other niggas that definitely get that. Cause you family wise, it's niggas personally, it's just peers that you gotta. All right, nigga, stop playing with me type shit.
and you set that boundary. Like, of course, it's not good. You never want to
Go
get out of
off on
character.
somebody,
Exactly.
right.
You never want to get out of character and go off on somebody. But at certain points, you have to let that boundary be known. Be like, okay, yeah, I'm a cool person, I'm nice and all that, but don't cross that line because it can go left if you want it to go left type shit. But I mean, there's not really that many advantages to advantages or benefits to acting emotionally. But that's definitely.
I was gonna ask you. Can you give a better advantage?
I sure can. So let me tell you something. And to be clear, let me switch because I said everything is circumstantial. If we are speaking and in a relationship, and I don't necessarily mean a romantic one. I mean in any relationship with friends, family, your romantic partner too. I think the benefits of being more emotional is that it's easier for you to convey how you feel, and then in doing that, you're teaching that person how to reciprocate that energy with you. Mm-hmm. Because if you have a relationship with somebody, and like I'm gonna use a friend as an example. If my friend sees the way that I communicate with them, the things that I'm showing, like I care about, these are things that like these are the boundaries I have, and yada yada yada. My friend, if they paying attention, will now know how to do the same thing to me.
Agree.
So there are definitely times where being emotional, like you have to like have emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And you have to.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And you have to have emotions to be in any relationship.
Say it again.
You have to have emotions to be in any relationship.
Right.
You gotta be.
Nobody want to talk to no rock.
Vulnerability. That's the word of the goddamn year. Vulnerability is something that I've learned that no relationship won't work without vulnerability. It's real shit. You gotta be able to express yourself. Let a nigga know that he's
vulnerable. It's like, what are we really doing here? If you gonna keep this wall up the entire time.
Agreed. But you gotta let a nigga know that you value them regardless. Like that's a part of being vulnerable. You know what I mean? Because the mental game is 70% of the fucking, of any relationship. You feel me? 70% is the mental game. Y'all gotta be able to show that y'all value each other equally, or some more than the other, but at least knowing that somebody values you regardless. So sure. I'm on point with that.
Is it any disadvantages to being logical to y'all?
Yeah, nonchalant. Me too nonchalant, because I feel like that's what a lot of
That's a good one.
a lot of like
a lot of men.
a lot of men, and I'm gonna say it. A lot of men. We take our I would say toxic masculinity ways and just try to step out of situation when sometimes it could just be handled by us, putting a foot forward. And being too nonchalant sometimes can create a disadvantage, I would say, in a lot, especially relationships, I would say.
Yeah, and it just make for a real stiff personality. Like, if you being logical all the time, it's like, damn, you can't tell a joke. Like, you can't have fun. You can't relax a little bit and just show some type of personality. Everything is just so, like...
cut dry to the point,
like,
black and white.
You stiff. I'm like,
I feel like it gets mixed up where it's like when you become nonchalant when you try to take away too much emotion. So it's like you have to learn how to take away that.
And who likes that?
Take away that balance.
Relax.
You have to learn to take away that balance.
But be annoying. Y'all ain't
Relax.
the worst one.
Relax.
That balance, so you have to learn how to
Then what you doing? I mean, I'm just chilling. Like,
put all them.
Why the fuck can't I be chilling? Hold up. All right, hold up. Let D finish his answer before I keep going with you.
Go in.
You can't take away all the emotion. You have to have that's a certain balance. If you take away all the emotion, that's when you get the nonchalant person who just don't give a fuck and all the other type shit. But you have to have some type of, like you said, nobody wants to talk to around.
Yes.
Why the fuck can't we just be chilling sometimes?
No, sometimes it's cool, but no, let me tell you a situation where, like, I'm gonna give you a fake scenario. Say if, like, I text you, right, and I'm like, oh, where you at? Now, 9 times out of 10, if I say that to you, you should already know that if you tell me you're not doing anything, my, like, follow-up is gonna be like, oh, well, let's try to get together, let's make some type of plan. You like, oh, I'm just an hour chilling. Okay, so what are you doing today? Probably just play the game. Oh, okay, well, like, do you, like...
I don't know if she was shooting shots or not, but this shit look like it's directed straight to you. Because that nigga plays the game. I'm saying he plays the game.
No, I ain't shooting shots. I'm sorry, T. That was his testimony. I understand. But the point is it's like, if you're not even really giving me nothing to work with, and I'm like, why you being so dry? And you like, I mean, I'm just chilling. And it's like, all right, bye. Have a nice day. Now I'm ready to text Tim, Peter, Jim, whoever is next. Because bye and bye and bye.
Tim, Peter, and Jim.
Tim, Peter, and Jim.
Again,
not one.
Sometimes you need options.
You're never the only
and that's
one.
Why. These nonchalant niggas, sometimes that's why you need options.
She didn't say
sometimes.
one. She said 3 different names.
3 of them.
Cause somebody
Remember that.
Jimmy,
3 of them.
Ben.
Jimmy, Peter, Ben, and motherfucking Pookie them.
Be with the link up.
Pookie them.
All they breath stink.
God damn, not one.
That's why they on the secondary list.
Damn, champ.
Man, whatever.
You text your favorite first. But you feel me? Them other 3. God damn. But I feel you though.
We listen, all hypothetical, but I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how have these...
Do not do me.
Go ahead, yo. Go ahead, Nick.
Right.
Go ahead, Nick. I'm gonna get her some shit.
Y'all ain't shitting me. Go ahead, Nick.
Now, we gonna break it down. How has emotion affected your relationships?
Emotion?
Emotion. Romantic and regular. Then we gonna go to logic, but talk about emotion.
I think it affects you in a good and a bad way sometimes. Yeah.
It definitely both.
There's been times where, like, if you both are maybe being too emotional, especially if
Yes,
you're
Lord.
on, like, different sides of whatever the situation is.
Yes, Lord.
Now it's getting, man, fuck you, get out, like,
Well, it's
I'm
been there.
fuck you,
It's
you
been
got
there.
close friends, don't come around my house no
I can't
more,
relate to that.
like, cause we just being emotional.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
And then
think I
especially if y'all been
If we not just if we not just talking about the one we in right now, I definitely was way more nonchalant, logical in the past. Now I would say my relationship now, I got that shit dragged out of me, cause like I was definitely on some like I don't give a fuck type shit. I don't care what you guys say. And now when you got a little more feelings involved and love and shit, all that boo boo lovey shit,
feel like you care.
and I get that, but God damn.
I think emotion in my relationship made us stronger. I think, cause like I wasn't the type to cry or like I can't handle the crying in front of you, but now it's kind of like I embrace it. You know. Now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Until you seem so sensitive, it just seemed like it would be easy for a little, like just a little one.
I just think he not very expressive, but he carry a lot of shit in. Yeah, I think that's Trelly. For real.
I think emotion made it stronger. Definitely made stronger for sure.
Yeah. Hey, look. All eyes on me. Oh, my bad. That's that bro, not bad, boy. I bet you got to know who to chuck. Very bad.
Talk your shit, Shawty.
How has emotion affected any of your
Talk your
relationships?
shit, Shawty.
Romantic
Talk
or regular?
your shit,
relationship?
Shawty.
But
You
if-
bag,
Like,
yeah, you got
you learned
you got the platform.
Have you
Talk
learned
your shit.
anything being emotional in a relationship?
Just the platform.
Yeah, I've learned that. I can say that I was a more emotional person years ago. And based on the situations that I've been in when it comes to relationships, that kind of got. I'm like the opposite of him for real. Like, it was like prior to back when he was in his I don't give a fuck mode. That was my lovey-dovey.
I'ma give you all the
I agree with that. I do agree. Now he break it down. I agree with that.
Back when he was in his I don't give. That was I'm the lovey-dovey, all the other type shit. Now he's the person becoming closer to the person that I used to be, and I'm becoming closer to the person that he used to be. I don't
Slow it down.
that.
Slow it down. Slow it
You know what I mean.
Slow it down. Slow it
But it's
down.
like-
The brakes. I feel what you're saying, dog.
But it's like I kind of had just based on the different situations and heartbreaks and relationships and all other type of shit. It kind of just dropped me out a little bit, and now
You drained.
And now
Emotionally.
and I hate it.
Fuck
because-
love.
God damn.
I'm just asking. I ain't saying that. I'm just asking how you. Is that the point you at? You know, some people
I
get to
hate
that
it.
point
I mean,
like.
I've thought about that, contemplate like, damn, like, is this really for me? Like, cause I mean, I remember on the episode, maybe was it a couple episodes ago when you asked me a question, was like, do you believe in soulmates? And you believe in like finding your own soulmate?
Are they
And all that shit. And I remember my answer, and I'm like, I feel like there's a person out there for everybody, but I do find myself, even though I said that, I have found myself over years now, like it's nothing recently, just over years now, like, is this shit for me? Like, is this somebody, like, is it actually like something that I should, just because of the back and forths and all this other type of shit that I've been going through? So it's like it fucks with me because I miss that person that I used to be sometimes. Like, I miss that lovey-dovey emotional person sometimes, but it's like
Fuck
that
that
shit.
shit.
You know what?
Yo, he funny
I
as
think
shit.
the
That's how we
disadvantage
wanna
to
say,
being emotional, it can drain you.
You could be too much sometimes,
and
then
it'll
the
make
world
you try
around
to
you,
like and trying to evolve. You may change stuff about yourself that you used to love.
And not even realize
She
it
said,
until-
"Oh."
And not even
That
realize
funny.
it until somebody
He
pointed
is
it
a
out to
whole
you. Like,
certified lover
Right.
boy, and now he out here giving like
Hey,
Shorty
don't
get
don't put the
money.
CLB on him for
It's
Drake,
not even
but
like- no, see, it's not
the
even
original
a whole-
I'm
CLB.
just saying, like,
see, that's the thing. It's not, but she's right though, because it's like if you would have saw, like, they saw the type of shit, like the type of emotion and
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability
I'm telling
that
you,
I
that's
gave
the word.
in those types of relationships back in, like, in high
The
school
word of the
and
fucking
like
year.
all that type of shit. But it's like now, it's not like I wouldn't even necessarily say the whole fuck bitches get money, because that's never me. I'm always going to be at heart a lover boy,
Yes,
and I
Lord.
always want to, like, I've never been the type of person who just want to have hoes. I've
Right.
always been
That's
that.
so true.
course.
Me
I've
too.
always
Not
been that.
him.
I have to have, like, I'm not gonna say I have to have, but if I'm fucking with somebody, it's gonna be one person. I can't deal. It's too much to deal with. It's too much to deal with emotionally and, like, mentally and all that shit to deal with one person in a relationship.
I'm tearing up over here.
It's like, it's too much. I'm not gonna say too much, but it can be overwhelming to deal with emotions,
Full.
mental shit.
For a person like you, yes. But when you don't give a fuck, some niggas really just don't give a fuck. They
But
can
somebody
deal
who
with
actually
certain people.
cares.
Right.
Somebody
Yeah, you really care.
who
You're
actually-
vulnerable in the
exactly,
beginning.
who actually cares.
Yeah, I
So, but,
understand.
like, to deal with all that shit with one person can be a little overwhelming. So I can't imagine dealing with that shit for 3, 4, 5 different females.
Yeah, you'll
Fuck
fucking
no, I
go
go
crazy.
Exactly. So, like, I've always been that
Fucking go crazy.
one person. So I can't really see myself getting into a mode where it's like, oh no, I'm just gonna be dragging out here just fucking her and fucking her and fucking. No, I can't do that.
Right.
It's like I have to have that. Just settle down with one person.
Nah.
It's hard when you get into a point where you feel drained because of all the shit that you gave.
Right.
It's just like that shit's gone now because you gave all of it. And,
Right.
like,
Yeah,
now
all
you
you
get to
had.
a point where you want to give it, but it's
Right.
like you're trying to teach yourself how to do that shit again
Right.
because
Slowly.
slowly,
Not too
but surely.
fast, yeah.
But you trying to teach yourself how to do that shit again just because, like, it's kind of a foreign language
Right.
to you now because it's like it was so long ago.
Right.
when
Because you didn't
gave.
learn how to protect yourself.
And you
And-
put up too many walls. I
Right.
learned that. I learned that from talking to my therapist. I put up too many walls. Like
Mhm.
there's so many walls put up around me, then it's kind of hard for even y'all to get in, and I don't want that because like y'all are y'all are the closest people to me other than my mother and my father or whatever, but like y'all are people that I want to be able to see that vulnerability without me having to say something to it, say something about it. So if
us having to beat
I can though.
Exactly. Certain things, but it's like
I can see it.
But it's like it shouldn't be hard because y'all are the closest people to me. Of course, I mean, of course, you like we've lived together damn near our whole life, so it's like you can see damn near. But it's like she should be able to see that. He should be able to see that. He should be able to see it just because we're so close. And in certain ways, I can see that on you. I can see that on you. I can see that on you in certain ways. I feel like I put these walls up so much.
But it'd be subconsciously though. You don't be doing it on purpose. Exactly. So I don't. That's why I don't look at it like it's a big thing. I mean, it's a big thing to you. But I'm saying when we can't we can't get affected. We can't get affected by that because we know that's who you are subconsciously. Like it's not just something that's off the top of your head. Well, I'm not gonna tell these niggas that. I'm not gonna tell these niggas that. No, it's just because your subconscious brain say like, all right, I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. Like at this second. So I agree with what you're saying, D. Like you mean. We found at the end of the day.
And D, we gonna bring it out of you, man. You can be as vulnerable as you want to be, man.
Yeah, sure enough.
Judge. Good, you all good in our book, baby. We gonna get you that hit.
We gonna love you anyway.
We gonna love you regardless.
Regardless, nigga. You know me. Regardless.
Regardless. All right. So, how has logic affected your relationship?
Shit kept me sane. That's all I'm gonna say. Kept me sane on certain shit, especially dealing with, I get everybody look at me like I wear certain shit as a badge of honor. I'm gonna use that. Like I wear certain things
stuck in your head.
as a badge of honor because I stand so 10 toes on certain shit, and I just live my truth with certain shit that I'm more I don't give a fuck type of person.
Right.
But emotionally, I can vouch. I can vouch for certain people when it comes to like. Emotionally, I'm able to sit down and have that conversation with you and give you the best advice I can, but you got to learn on your own. Still, you can't lead a horse to water and tell him to drink it. You got to be able to take those changes when you're ready. But I can give you the best advice emotionally, and you can give me the best advice emotionally. Right. I got to be able to do the same thing, vice versa. But you can't always lead a horse to water and tell him to drink it, man.
That's the second time I heard that this week.
Yeah, it's some real shit.
That's real, though.
My father told me that shit, for real. Logically, what's some disadvantages, Trelly?
Disadvantages for logic?
Yeah.
I say as it pertains to relationships.
Oh, and relationships.
A relationship disadvantage logically. Shit.
You looking like Steve.
You don't feel like you got any disadvantages?
I'm trying to.
You don't feel like it's too laid back in certain situations?
Yes.
Yeah, but
so that can be a disadvantage.
All right, so boom. So you put it like that. I feel like certain situations to me are not as big as others may make it seem. So I may tend to.
He ain't never gonna argue. You could light his car on fire. He's like, hey, if that's how you felt.
Your ass going to jail right after for arson, destruction of property, all that.
And he gonna very calmly watch the police take you.
Very calmly. Bye. But no, real shit though. I don't know, bro. Like, I just feel like you bend don't break. Like like I said, certain stuff not gonna go always as planned, and I learned that. So I learned not to panic in certain situations instead of just calmly thinking, well, everybody, you know what I'm saying? I plan on like let's figure out something else. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that deep to me, but. And sometimes it may come off as deep as the others and emotionally, and I may come off as the bad guy or the nonchalant guy. But no, I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to work on it. So
evolving every day.
Shay, has thinking logically affected you in any different type of way in relationships?
Here's what I'll say. I think if you are thinking too logically sometimes in relationships, you kind of open the door to come off as very like insensitive. So like I'm trying to think of like an example that I can like make this more concrete for you. But okay, say if somebody has like a certain insecurity, and so you know they go about the way they live their life in a way that, you know, they do their best to like hide it or protect whatever that insecurity is. And so you say something logical like, man, you know, this could be a lot easier for you if you just boom, 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 or if you just da 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 da. But now it's like you kind of just hurt my feelings, and I feel like you're like not thinking of how I feel, or you're like not protecting this thing that I'm insecure about. And I'm not going to give a concrete example because I just can't think of a specific insecurity. But like my point is like, sometimes when you speak to somebody and you feel like I'm giving you advice, I'm speaking with reason, like I'm just giving you pure fact and intellect, that may not be the time. It may not be very well received.
I heard that shit before.
And so it comes off as insensitive to whatever it is that I am like emotionally or feeling about whatever. You're being too logical in this scenario. You're being insensitive to my needs and how I feel.
I'm just gonna ask you a question first. You probably got some more stickier. Which should be valued more in a relationship? Emotion or logic? What should be valued more as a woman?
In like a romantic relationship?
In a romantic relationship, what should be valued more? Logic or emotion?
I'm going to say emotion, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm sure that's probably what you expected me to say.
I definitely did.
Really? You thought I was going to say logic?
No, I definitely did. Thought you were going to say emotion.
Oh, so yeah, I said what you thought I was going to say. Okay, cool. So there should be no reason to throw tomatoes. I said what you thought I was going to say. But here's why I say that. A little while back, I just said emotional intelligence is important, and I feel like that low key kind of goes into like
logic.
That's exactly what it goes to.
No, I was actually about to say I feel like it goes into like your love language, which is the way that you communicate with your partner, the way that you guys get along as a unit. So like being emotional, like being sensitive to their needs, being aware of what they want, what they like, what they don't like, and things like that. That makes for a very like successful and fulfilling equal opportunity like relationship. So it's like, yeah, like, and don't get me wrong, we gonna both be logical, and sometimes one of us may need to be a little bit more logical from the other person, sometimes to like help you out of something. I think emotionally is where it matters a little bit.
Keep your thought in your head, D.
In a relationship.
But I want to say this because I think this is sticky. I think vice versa, when it's a male more emotional than the woman in a relationship, y'all don't know how to really handle it majority of the time. And I'm gonna stamp that.
Oh, okay. So
I am going to stamp that.
Emotion.
That's
If
true.
you want, I really feel like that's true.
You want a baby thug?
I feel like women expect men to know how to deal with that, but the vice versa, it can't pan out the same way.
Okay, let me say this. And I'm gonna use myself as an example. You said.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
You just got all excited and set up. Anyway, so okay, you said you think women cannot receive it very well if a man is overly emotional.
Then they are, yeah.
Okay, I would agree, I'm agreeing for me. All women may not feel the same, but let me tell you, I think I heard this in a TikTok, and I feel like this girl was speaking to my spirit. She said, when I go on dates with different guys, and my friends are like, oh, like, did you like this guy? And she's like, oh, well, he was too nice. I'm going to use that too nice guy as somebody who's overly emotional. And so the friends are like, well, I mean, what do you want? Like a mean person? Like, why is it a problem that this guy's too nice? And so what the woman said was, what I want in a man is somebody whose level of, like, masculinity and his level of, like, dominance exceeds my level. Because if you exceed my level, you leave room for me to be feminine and be emotional.
That's my point, though.
So, no, yeah. So, like I said, I agree with you.
Oh.
So, what I'm saying is, yeah, like, again, you need to have some level of emotional intelligence. But I do think that there are levels to it. Because the same way I can be emotional, I can most definitely meet you toe-to-toe. And we can do logic all day, every day. I need, like, my man to be very... not overly emotional, because then it's given you might be just a little too emotional for me. Like, you can't be emotional in every single aspect.
So when we say that about a woman, why is that like, oh, nigga, you just being too nonchalant? You get what I'm saying? Like, you being too laid back about certain shit.
It's the double standard that...
No, wait a minute. I don't think... I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
It's the double standard that women's
I agree.
emotions matter more than men's when...
There we go.
Uh-oh.
I mean, that's really what it is. But whether you want to believe it or not, if you break it... if you break it down the way it's actually being portrayed,
I'll let you know if I agree.
it's like... you can't. First of all, I don't understand where the whole a man being nice has anything to do with his masculinity. I feel like that's just. I don't.
You don't understand.
I don't understand it. Like a man can't be nice without him being.
They want you to be a dickhead in the
Exactly.
beginning.
They want you to.
No, it's
so
just
like,
if your levels. I'm
One
sorry.
at a time.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you about to say?
If your level of like emotional, like okay, take me. I'm not a very mushy type of female. I'm not all like sappy and like that. So like if I had a guy who was like that, I don't know if I would receive it the same because it's like
You blocking your blessings.
I mean, don't
I'm sorry. That might be the nigga for you, slut.
no, because or at least I need you to be
Fucked up.
able to do both.
Outside your preference.
I need you to know how to do both. Now sometimes you got that yin and yang thing where it works. But it's like
Opposite do
need
attract.
you to sometimes know how to turn that off.
Finish your comment, D.
Well, why is that? But like, where does that come in for when he's just being a night? Like, I can understand if it was like he was on some whole hopeless romantic
Simp shit.
like it's like
In the
Yeah, and
beginning.
that's what I'm
Going crazy, like tricking this shit at the very beginning.
And I've seen
But
that, and it
now
turned me off.
now
I'm like, I
that
can't
can
do this.
understand that.
Yeah.
But it's like based on your comment, I took it as just because I see a lot of women do this shit nowadays. It's like, or on social media, is like he can't be too nice because he can't be too nice because that means he's feminine. Like a man just can't open it. I've seen women get mad because niggas opening doors and pulling out chairs.
Now, see,
and
no,
all
that's
that type
not
of shit.
feminine.
It's
That's
because-
a gentleman. And
No,
if you don't want a
but
gentleman,
it's
then
no, it's
that's
not
something
even
going
no.
on
It's
different.
like it's just like it's not. They equate them being nice as being feminine. That's why when you were saying the whole nice shit and her saying she needs somebody to be more masculine because of how nice he was, that's what my mind went because that's where I've seen shit like that. Man, like I saw somebody was like, somebody said something about I don't know if she was serious, but this shit fucked my head up. She was like, no woman wants a man who's 100% faithful.
Hey, yo. No, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, she was like, no. She was like, no man, no woman wants a man who's 100% faithful because, it's basically it shows that he still look good. He can still get females and all this other type of shit. He's still, like not available. He still looks good type shit. I don't know how to explain it, but she sounded fucking crazy.
I don't know how to explain what you just
Because
explained.
You're not
That
not
shit ain't make
faithful
no
just
sense.
because other people look good to you or you look good to other people. That's not you being
I don't know.
unfaithful.
I don't know the way she
You
explained
acting
it.
on
Fucked
it
my
is the
head.
act of you being
I don't know
unfaithful.
what the
But-
fuck about decision now.
It was just like I don't understand where that comes into, like where if a man being nice, where that comes into his masculinity. Like that's just how he was raised. But now you're looking at him like he's too feminine because he is.
Right, 'cause I think in situations like that-
it's giving you like a pushover.
Because I think situations like that, right?
So you want a nigga to be a
it's like-
dickhead.
it's like
They
a-
want niggas to slap the shit out of them.
Yeah. No, what I'm gonna say is this. Sometimes all about
Exactly.
But look, it's all about your aura, your demeanor. Sometimes I get what she's saying.
How you approach it.
I definitely didn't say that.
It's about your aura and your demeanor.
How you
Now, sometimes it also is about that.
Slap me up, beat me down.
It's,
turn me
it's
around.
about that first look test. That first look test. Sometimes you be like, you can judge a nigga off of how he look, or a woman off how he look. All right, she look a little hard up, or no, she a softie at the end of the day. That shit like that. That's that first look test. You mean they doing it in football, sports, and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Facts.
You assume a nigga is this until they show you what's really inside him. You feel what I'm
Because
saying?
it can be a too innocent of a woman sometimes.
Yes, Lord.
And you be like, I don't.
Yeah, Lord. Yeah, and you just seen some women do some simp shit.
Such a pure flower.
You
I
just-
don't want to take her.
You just see some women, yeah. You just see some women do some simp shit for real, like, and then a nigga be like, damn, why she doing all that in the beginning? Like, but some niggas take advantage of it.
That's giving pick me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
See why? Why is it giving picky?
For a girl, it's called a pick me, and for a guy, it's called a simp. That's the way I understand it.
Yeah.
But it's like, you said, why is that bad?
I don't think it's bad. I think that's them
I'm
showing
sure you don't.
they treat. Why would I think it's bad?
Man, like, why wouldn't you want a woman who would?
Because I mean, it's a rarity. That's why it's a double standard. It's a rarity on the side of a woman doing it. But when a man doing it, I think it's a scale to it. Like you got to do it at the right time, not off the rip. Like make sure you know this person is quality
It's
before you just dump all that shit into him. Like, but go
Plus,
ahead.
the more you pour in up front, it's like you have the biggest risk of like not getting a return on these same.
Well,
emotions
sometimes
that
it don't gotta be a
devastate and
return.
hurt.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's not about the return. I mean, on my end, like shit, not just about pussy. Like it's not about that, and that's what's fucked up about men, and that's what like that double standard comes into play. Like niggas be doing that simp shit
For the pussy.
and that's really how we viewed it in society right now. Like when you a simp, you doing that shit. We was talking about this shit in another episode about flying people out and all that shit, and they expect pussy afterwards. Like some shit don't be for that. Like it just be like just to do it off of the
Yeah,
trim.
I
I don't know what episode it was, but we had that conversation about women getting flied out.
That's
flew out.
real out some predator shit.
Yeah, man, we don't get into that.
No, but that's exactly what it sounds like. But like that's what I was talking about. The whole men's emotions not being valued the way women's emotions being valued based off of what you were saying. Because it's like, yeah, I mean,
Now I might be on Day side with this.
no, I mean
That's how history was. That's how history was painted. Like I don't mean to say it like this. We was the ones that just go out and go to war. Fuck it.
Exactly, but at the same
We had
time,
to.
that don't mean you don't got feelings. Those
I
people
know.
who went out and
They got
went to war,
PTSD.
PTSD, fucking trauma.
feel you.
They miss their family, they miss their kids. Oh, they still got emotions, but
I
that
agree.
shit was all forced to be put on the back burner.
Yeah, niggas
because
ain't had
of them
time for
dealing
that.
with the-
that's
they ain't
that's
had
basically
time
what it
for
was.
And
Niggas
then
ain't had
because
time
of
for
the
that.
fact that they was dealing with.
I
They
just
were-
seen a video.
Like that.
I think I don't know if it was Steve Harvey or who it
And they were
was.
trained to do that too.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Steve. Oh, Shaq. Shaq said, "I don't got time for emotions. I ain't got time for. I got these people I got to provide for." And that's really
Right, but at
He's-
the end of the day, that shit's gonna like you.
It's gonna fuck you
gonna
up.
fuck
Yeah,
you up.
it's
Now
gonna
it's
know.
going.
real bad.
Now it's the truth. Like I mean, sadly,
Emotionally.
the way we're put in the position that we're put in as men and black men too, but as men and I mean more specifically black men, just because that's who we are and that's the demographic that we have to go off of. But it's not just black men; it's men everywhere
In general.
trust
general.
me. I done seen it fuck a lot of us up. Even I'm talking about in our particular families. Like
Yeah.
I done seen it fuck a lot of my family members up that they felt like they had nobody to turn their back to, and they had to just put shit on their back on their book bag and just tote it.
Exactly.
You feel me?
But that's not how
So-
you're supposed to do shit. You're supposed to like. I mean,
it's fucked
that's why I said there's more value in women's emotions because of course women are more they're looked at as more acceptable to go to the therapy or to open up about their feelings and call a homegirl and vent about whatever for 3, 4, 5 hours, blah blah blah. But for men, we kind of looked at as like a sissy or less of a
Yeah.
man or some shit like that for doing the same exact thing.
How you
when
raised.
at the end of the day, we are literally just doing the same exact thing, just trying to express ourselves.
Baby therapist. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
We just trying to express ourselves, and because nobody can live with that shit, regardless, men, woman, and child. You can't live with that shit bottled up on you. It's gonna fuck you up regardless of who you
Yeah.
are.
And I don't bring
It's gonna
them.
fuck you up
I don't
regardless
mean
of
to
who
bring
you
my
are.
man up, Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. But
my God.
he talked about a lot of stuff like that, where it's just like women are more so looked at as being emotional creatures, and they've had outlets over the years of expressing themselves.
Yeah.
We haven't had a
It's just
platform
now
where
starting
we
to be
talk.
more so.
Yeah, it's just now, like with podcasts and people having more access to social media and making videos and stuff like that. But it's like before, it wasn't accepted that we talk about our emotions. Wasn't accepted, but it should be. It should be like that.
Heavy.
I just saw something. I watch a lot of podcasts and shit like
Yeah.
that. But I saw something. I forgot who it was. Michael Beasley was talking about the situation where Dwight Howard ended up crying on national TV, and he was like, "Why did he get so much backlash off that shit?" And people was making fun of him based off of it. He was like, "Why can't we sit back and think about like what was he going through in his mind to make him break down in front of 20 million people?" It was something in his head or
Right.
something that he was going through that was like, "I can't hold this shit in him. I'm trying to put it on." Put this facade on and try to hold it together, but I can't take this shit no more, so I'm gonna bust out. And the whole fucking world just saw that shit. He wasn't even worried about it because it was that deep, but we so worried about as a society, oh, he a grown man, he fucking this up, or he doing this, or he doing that, he doing that. But bro is actually going through something, and he's trying to express that to y'all, but y'all sitting there playing games with him. Like that just goes to show you how society really don't give a fuck about men's emotions in a nutshell.
Not even just men's emotion, mental health in general.
Facts.
Mental health is important.
Yeah, that's really
Mental health,
yeah.
facts. Not even just men's emotions, but mental health in general, because there are women who go through similar type of shit too.
Yeah, mental health.
It's just mental health in general is not taken as seriously as it should be.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, and that's why like certain shit, it's good to have these kind of outlets. Like we were just talking about, like just to talk. You know what I mean? And that's why I think it's fun to us because, you know, of course we got built up emotions, built up anger, and all that shit, and certain shit like this. We could just talk, and now you feel 10 times better later on. You know what I'm saying? So like you just let it out. So find your outlet. Fellas and ladies, find your outlets.
Whether it be
you know?
therapy, somebody from your family, a friend,
Real shit.
Call on
anything
somebody.
out
Leave it in the comment section.
Leave it in the comments section, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, we are NSP 3D.
Oh, so the original song, my bad. It was supposed to be "Stand" by Eminem. That's still a good song for Emotional versus Logic. But somebody brought something up.
What's the
I'm
new
gonna go
song?
with "Thinking with My Dick" by Kevin.
Take us away, Zo. Come on, man.
I don't know that fucking song.
If it don't clap, but she walk.
He
She pretty in the face, but she super thin. I'm just thinking with my dick.
I know that part.
My shit dope.